Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with Me, and just ignore all of this over here. So from right here over, just ignore that, okay? I can't move it. My desk is so full. All right, this is what we're going to be making today. This is a little mini album, and the pages that go in here are called Stack the Pages. It's just an easy way to put pages in a mini album without having to have another device or something to attach them to your spine, because the pages actually do their own attaching. Alright, so here is the mini album. We are using the Santorini from Prima. It was the last year's collection, but I have found a lot of it still on Amazon, and I'll put those in my Amazon store, and I'll link that below. If you purchase through any of my affiliate links, and I do get just a small portion of the sale, it doesn't cost you any more. It just helps me out and helps me keep bringing you more videos. Alright, so we've got a tag in there with some seam binding. Then there's another page. This one flips out, has a magnet closure on it. There's that one, that one, that one. That one flips out with a couple of tags in there as well. And then there's that one. This one flips out with a magnet closure. And then this one flips out, has a couple of tags here. I haven't put my seam binding in that yet, but there's a pocket in that one. And then there is that one, and then this one flips down so that you can put photos and things on both places. And then here's the back. And then there's the back of the mini album. Alright, let's get into making this. This is super easy and quick. And if you want to make mini albums like I love to make mini albums, this is the album for you. So quick and so easy. Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to do is put our spine piece in. This piece of chipboard is 2.5 by 6. And then we have two pieces that for the outside and inside of paper that is cut at 6 by 8. And what this is going to do is give us that little bit of the extra coverage on the spine where it comes around to the front and back. You'll see in just a second. But I wanted a little bit extra coverage on there. You know, sometimes I cover my spine and afterwards. So this is going to cover your spine first. Now, this is just a different way to make a mini album. There's so many different ways out there that you can put mini albums together. But this is a very simple way. So, alright, I have gone ahead and marked me a square. I just came in, looks like about 1.5 inches maybe. I came in 1 3/4 inches from the side, and then I came down 1 inch, and that just gives me a place to put this so that I don't get it crooked like that or too far up or too far down. We want it in the center as best we can. So we're going to put that down right there, but I'm going to use some score tape on here. So this is the 1 inch, I believe it is, score tape, and we're going to put this on here. And this will hold this down really, really well. Alright, I cut that piece a little long, so we're just going to cut it off. And then instead of wasting it, I'm just going to stick it right back there in the center. Alright, now I like to burnish my score tape down really well, because sometimes it won't stick to your chipboard unless you do. It just depends on how much moisture you've got in your room, in your house, that kind of thing. So let's pull the backing off of this. And then I'm just going to line that up there, just like that, and then press it down. And see, that kind of puts that piece of chipboard in the center of that, so that when we fold this over for our spine, we're going to have about the same amount of this pink on the front and on the back. Now, I did go ahead and ink all of my edges with Vintage Photo because I wanted this to look a little bit vintage. So, and then we're going to put some down through here. And I'm going to leave a gap between the Okay, I'm leaving a gap between the chipboard and where I'm putting that first piece of tape down. What that's going to do is that's going to be where our next piece of chipboard starts. To me, this score tape, this size is a lot harder to deal with because I'm used to putting it on my hand and rolling it out. And I can't do that with this. Alright, so I'm going to do that there. And then I'm going to use 1/4 inch to go out here at the edges. I want the edges to be glued down well. Okay. So just like that. And then we have 2 pieces of chipboard that are 6 by 6. And we're going to put those down. Whoops, not that piece. And we're going to put those down just like that. See, I've got my line drawn on out so I'll know where to stop them, like that right there. Okay, so let's pull the backing off of this. We'll put one down first and leave about, I'm going to leave a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch between them. Let's see what that looks like. It's about 1/8 or maybe a tiny bit more. It just gives you a little bit more flexibility with your spine piece to keep it from cracking. So just leave a little bit of room there. Then I'm lining that up with that mark that I have out through there, and then I'm pressing that one down too. And I'm going to flip it over and just run my bone folder over the outside. And then what we need to do is take our tool, scoring tool, and you're going to run it through the middle here. Because you want to kind of break down those fibers so that they don't crack on you when you start to fold this up. And then I'm also going to, and I'm going to get my other one. This one's a little bit smaller. I'm going to run it down through here as well. I had to look up and check and see if my mic was on. You know, the ones that watched my video the other day, a couple of days ago, I did half of the video and had my mic off, so every now and then I have to check, make sure my mic's on. Alright, now we're going to flip it over this way, and this is going to be the outside. And I'm going to put this paper down, and I'm really undecided as to what side I want to use. I love this, it's so pretty, but I also like that. So, I can't decide. This is the paper collection, and it is the Santorini, I think. It's an island somewhere, by Frank Garcia from Prima. This was last year's collection, but I did find lots of this still left on Amazon, and I will put my Amazon link down below, so if you want it, you can go over and check that out. And I'm really thinking that I might use that side. That to me is just so pretty. What do you guys think? Y'all think I need to use that side too? I think so. I just think it's pretty. Alright, now looks like I didn't ink around these, so I'm going to go ahead and ink around these just so that it'll match up with my other. Okay, so if you want me to use this side, raise your hand. I can see all you out there raising your hands. I just think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this side right here, and I think I want that one for the front and this one for the back. I think that'd be so pretty. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to put some score tape right here. And you could use some other type of glue if you wanted to. I just find that in mini albums, score tape works better because it makes the mini album hold together a lot longer. So I want to make sure that they hold together for a long, long time. I'm just going to put a little piece of 1/4 inch down through there. We'll go ahead and put it on the back side. Now these covers are cut at 7 inches by 8 inches, and what that is doing is giving you some extra room on the top and on the outside to fold it over. So we are going to take the backing off of the score tape, and then I'm going to get this just as straight as I can and right up against that pink. I don't want to fold it over, but I want to go right up against it. And I had somebody the other day ask me what this tool was, this pick tool that I use now, since we can't get those other ones anymore. This is a, let's see, is it an EK? I think these are EK. I have them in the store. It comes in a pack of 3. You get, well, I don't see my third one right now, but you get one that has the pick on the end of it, one that has the bigger ball here, and then one with a smaller score ball and one here. And then there's another one, and it has a little bit, it has the medium-sized balls on it. And I don't see it right this minute, but I have it. But I love those. I use them a lot now that I've gotten used to them. I was so used to that other tool from Kaiser Craft, but we can't get those anymore. Alright, so there we have this on the front side. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of fold this up where my spine's going to be. So see, that's the way our book will look right there. Isn't that pretty? Ooh. Now, I cut these a little bit wider than probably I should have, so I can go back and take like an inch off of these. So let me do that, and then I'm going to tell you what size they are then. That way you won't waste your paper. I just kind of guesstimated at mine for the beginning. So my guesstimation was a little bit off. So let me just take an inch off of each end. And that way you will save your paper. Really, we could take an inch and a half probably. Yeah, let's just take an inch and a half. And that'll give me a nice little piece that I can use for something else. There we go. Alright, so after we cut these down, they are 5.5 by 8. So that's the size that you need. And I will make sure that I have that 5.5 by 8 in the instructions over on my blog so that you won't cut your paper the wrong size like I did. Alright, now let's take our little tool. And we're going to go around the edges, just breaking down that fiber. So that it folds up really crisp up against that chipboard. Let me know in the comments below if you like mini albums as much as I do. I love mini albums. A lot of times I'll use a different one for every vacation and every little trip that we go on, that kind of thing. They're just easy to make, and then I have little mini albums for all of the different occasions. Alright, now all I'm doing here is I am just cutting out a little, I don't go straight across, I cut out a little, what do you call that, almost an oval, and I leave 1/8 of an inch between the end of the chipboard and where I cut. Leave a little bit extra, because you can always go back and trim that off or fold it under, but if you cut it too short, your chipboard's going to show. Alright. And if you don't want to take a chance on just risking cutting it like that, you can just take a piece of your chipboard and lay it at the end and then cut it that way. Or if you have a Tim Holtz ruler, you can lay it at the end and cut it off like that. That gives you that extra room. And now all we're going to do is rock this. And that helps bend that over. And then I go back and I take my bone folder and I just kind of fold it up and using my bone folder to go right up at the end of that. That helps give it that sharp crease at the end of the chipboard. All right. And now we're ready to put some score tape around through here and glue this down. And for this, I think I'm going to use the 1/2 inch. I think this is 1/2 inch score tape. And I'm going to put a piece right up against the end of the chipboard, and then I'll come back and put another one right beside it so that it'll glue down well. If you wanted to use the 1 inch, you could. It's just easier for me to run this 1/2 inch because I can run it with on my hand like that. And all I'm putting that on there for is so that I can put this piece down in just a second. So let's go ahead and burnish that down. And then start by folding the center one up and then the outside. And then I go to the other side and I do the same thing. I like to do my sides first and then the ends. And then I tap the corners so that they're not so sharp. A lot of times that keeps them from tearing. And then I'm going to go back over right here real easily. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on this because I don't want it to tear through. Okay. And then we'll just slowly fold that up. Look at that! How cute! Oh my goodness. I love that one. Love it. And I'm not really a pink girl, but I love the teal and the pink together. That is so cute. Okay, for your inside spine pieces, this one is 5.5 by 6, and it's going to go just kind of centered up right there, even with that outside pink. And then these two pieces are 4 1/8 by 5.5, and they're going to go on either end, just like that. So I'm going to put these outside ones down with art glitter glue. This one I've already got my tape down for. And I use tape on the spine because this piece is going to be holding all of our pages and everything in. So you want something that's really strong, that's going to hold well when you do this. Okay, so just put it right at the end of your pink and just kind of center it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't think anybody's going to get down and look at your mini album that close to see if every little line is straight. Now again, what we want to do is just kind of take that bone folder, go back and forth there, and back and forth here. Now I'm going to take my art glitter glue, and we didn't put glue right here on the outside end, so I'm going to take my art glitter glue and I'm going to run it around through here. You could have put a piece of score tape there, that would have been fine. But you know me, I make these projects as I go, so I don't think about things like that sometimes until after the fact. But then there's always a way to fix it, always a way to seal it up. There we go, got that sealed up well. I'm going to go back over lightly this. And I'm just going to fold easily. This is not dried completely, so I don't want to do a lot of folding yet. I want to give it time to dry and catch hold. Okay, and now we're going to glue these two pieces down right here at the end. Isn't that cute? I'm glad I used the other side of this on the outside. Make sure you get right up to the edges with your glue. And then you're just going to butt that piece right up against the one you just put down. And it should cover just like that. There we go. And then this piece is going to go on the front, and I love that. It's got on there. Again, you're going to butt that piece right up against that one, and then press everything down. There we go. There's the inside of our little mini. Isn't that cute? I'm loving this one. Okay, I'm going to lay all this aside and let this dry while we work on our pages. Okay, now for your pages, you're going to need 4 sheets of a good cardstock, one that will match your paper. And the first one is going to be 12 by 5 3/4. All right, so our front and back of our mini album is 6 by 6. So we want our pages to be 5 by 5 because we want to give a little bit extra room out to the end to so that when you fold the book together, the pages don't stick out and show. So if you want a 5-inch page in doing your album like this, these sheets are going to serve as your binding and your pages. This, what we're going to do now, is called Stack the Pages. Now, I have no idea who originated this idea. I know that Laura Dennison came up with Stack the Deck. So I don't know who turned that into Stack the Pages. I don't know if it was her. I have seen Genevieve do it. I have seen lots of people on Pinterest do that. I don't know who came up with it. But that's the binding that we're going to use today. So you're going to use the 12-inch by 5 3/4 because our book is 6 inches tall. You're going to score at 5 on this end. Then you're going to flip it all the way around, and you're going to score at 5 on this end. Now let me go ahead and fold that, and I'll show you what we have. There's your binding right there, and then here are your pages, just like that. So this is mimicking the Stack the Deck, but yet we're not having to do a separate mechanism to hook the pages onto. You're going to let this be your pages and your binding system, okay? So remember this one, and I'll have all of these measurements over on my blog. Just make sure to score at 5 inches on all of these sheets. All right, let's lay that one aside. Your next size, you're going to go down 1/2 inch with each one of these pages. So this one is 11.5 by 5 3/4. They're going to all be the same width. And you're going to score at 5. And you're going to turn it. And you're going to score at 5. So I'll show you what we get when we do that one. So see, there's your page again. But yet this one will sit right inside that one, just like that. If you can see that. See, it's the spine is a little bit smaller, so they get a little bit smaller in the spine each time. The pages stay the same, but the spine gets smaller. So this one is 11 inches by 5 3/4. We're going to score at 5 inches. Again at 5. Turn it, score it at 5. And I really hate it when they put the little barcode on the paper like that, but some of them do that. It's when you take it off, it still leaves a little dark place there, but we'll cover all that. Okay, so there is the third page, and as you can see, it's going to sit right inside there, just like that. So there is that one. See? And now we've got the fourth one. This one is 10.5. Remember, we're going down 1/2 inch each time. So you're going to score at 5. You're going to turn it, and you're going to score at 5 again. And see, this is only 1/2 inch apart. So this is going to be the last one that you can do. This gives you a mini that has a little bit extra room in it to do all your extra embellishing and that kind of thing. So see, There are your pages right there. So you have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 pages. So what we're going to do now is we're going to glue these together, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. Now this is our first page, and if you want to mark it like number 1, you can. You can lay them down like this and see which one comes next, but we'll mark this one number 2. So you're going to put number 2 on number 1. Now the spine on this one, and I'm trying to explain to you guys how to do this so that you can do it on other books that you have. The spine on this one is 1.5 inches. The spine on this one is 2, so there's a 1/2 inch difference. So all you need to do is take your ruler. We're going to come in 1/4 of an inch from the score line on both sides. And I just drew a little line there so I can see it. Then this, from in between those 2 lines that I just drew, is 1.5 inches, and that's the exact size of this spine. So then when I put my tape here, I can sit that down right there on that line that I just drew, and I know I've got it in the center. You see? There's my line on that side, there's my line here. My spine, I just sit it down just like that, and I've got it. So let's go ahead and put some, and I'm just going to use glue on this. Alright, so we're just going to use some art glitter glue, that way it'll give us a little wiggle room. I'm going to lay it down, matching the ends of it up. I'm going to match it up right with that line on both sides. Make sure that it's on that line on that side, and then I'm going to press that down. And see, when you have your book open up like this, you've got that 1/4 inch on either end, but when you have it closed up like this, your pages are identically the same. Now we're going to take page number 3, which is your next size here. This is number 3. I'm going to do the same thing. This spine is 1 inch. This one is 1.5 inches. So I know from that score line I need to come in 1/4 of an inch. So I'm just going to put my ruler there and mark 1/4 of an inch on both sides from that score line. That gives me a place to put this down at, and I don't get it all wibbledy wobbledy. So there again, you've got that little bit at the end. They're not even, but then when you fold this up, they're even, and your pages are coming together. So this is our last page. We're going to do the same thing. You're going to come in 1/4 of an inch, put your glue on your spine, just kind of hold it together, lay it down, matching up the ends. All right, there we go, right there. We press this down really well. Alright, so there are your pages for your mini. Quick and easy. And see, you've got 1/4 of an inch between each page that you can do all types of embellishing. Now, I want to add a pocket on one of these. So what I have done is cut a piece of the brown cardstock that is 5 3/4 by 6. So on the 6-inch side, what you want to do is you want to score at 1/2 and then at 5 1/2. Okay? And then just take your scissors on the end and cut a little notch. Same thing over here. And then just fold those over, burnish them really well. And then decide on what page you want to be the pocket. I think I'll do this page. So start at where you have the score line, start at your score line, put that page down, and it should go right out to the end, just like that. All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to put glue down through here. Now, I could have made these a 1/2 inch longer and done another fold down here, but I didn't see the need in it because I didn't want that extra bulk. So all I'm going to do is run just a little bit of a bead of glue right down at the bottom, just like that. Then what we're going to do is lay this right down on top of that page, making sure that all of our score lines, everything matches up, that it matches up at the end. And then press that down, making sure all that glue is nice and adhered. Here we go, and then there is your pocket for that page. And you can go ahead and take your punch, and you can punch out a little pull tab at the top of this one if you want to. There's our pull tab right there, and then we can put this is my little template, we can put some tags and things down in there if we want to. Okay, all right, so that's how you make the pocket. And then we want to make a flip up page. So what I have done is I've cut a piece here that is 5 inches wide. I want it to be the width of my page, and then I have cut it at 6 1/4 because I want to give it a 1/2 inch for me to score and fold over. So I have just scored that at 1/2 inch, folded that down. I've cut my little edges like that. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put some glue on here. And just decide what page you want it on and put it right up to that score line and just bring it down. Make sure it doesn't go over the score line, anything like that. Then just press that down. And see, this part right here will be covered by your mats. So there you've got a page, and then you've got a flip up page. It's a page and a flip up page. So you've got more real estate in there that you can put more photos and things on. Now if you want to put a little pocket on the inside front cover, this piece is cut at 3 1/2 by 5 1/2, and then I have scored on the 5 1/2 inch side at 1/2 inch on both ends, clipped off my little corners, and I'm going to fold those back. I'm going to do just like we did that pocket that we added a minute ago. I'm going to put a little bit of glue down at the bottom and some glue right here on these, and then I'm just going to fold those tabs under, and I'm just going to kind of center it up where I want it on here. I'm not going to be too picky. There we go. We've got that, and the bottom is glued down. Now if you wanted to put your mat down on under here before you put this down, that would be the thing to do. I'm just doing this to show you how to make different pockets and things. But I would put my mat down and then put my pocket on top and then mat my pocket. But that's how you would do the other pocket. So see, you've got another little pocket right there that'll hold tags and things. So that is your little book. You can keep adding little flip ups, flip outs, flip down, whatever. You keep adding pockets all the way through here if you want to. But this now is ready to go on the inside of our mini album cover. Okay, now on this one, I have a little flip up that I need to put a magnet on before I put my mats on there. And this flip up is done the same way as the one that flipped the other way. You can do them up this way, down this way, or out this way. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to put my magnet right there, and then I'm going to put my opposite pole on there, and I'm going to flip that up and then press that magnet down. Alright, there's my magnets on, so I didn't forget those. This is going to be my very front page, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a pocket on here, but I'm going to go ahead and mat it first. So let's see, what do we want to mat that with? I've got my mats cut, and the page mats are 4 3/4 by 5 1/2. Those are some little tags I have cut. And I think I'm going to use this for my inside cover right there. And then you should have just a little bit of that brown showing all the way around. Just like that. And then we'll go ahead and cover this under there. I think I may use that side. Alright, then on this we're going to put some glue around this magnet and on top of it. And let's see, I think I'll put that one down there. When you flip it back, you'll be able to read that wording. Press that down. Then I'm going to go ahead and clip that little piece off right there. You see, I wrote myself a note, magnets, magnets, so that I wouldn't forget to put my magnets down. And now we can cover the outside here. I think I might use that right there. Ooh, I like that one too. You know, I think I might use that one on that side. And I will use this one here. Alright, and then again, we're going to clip that little piece off right there. Alright, and then we can cover this side. Now make sure when you flip that over that you have it the right way so that you know which way your paper runs. And then I think we'll put that one on the back just like that. We're going to go ahead and put our little pocket right here. Now I know you're wondering, you're thinking you've already put a pocket down there. I made this one to show you guys how to do this. And then this is one that I already had made up yesterday so that I could start putting my mats and everything down. It's made the same way, everything's the same. It's just that I wanted to make this one up from start to finish to show you how this is done. So that's one, and I'll just make a cover for this and make another mini album. Now the mat for this piece is cut at 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. And I'm going to kind of lay it here and then mark where I need to cut that little notch out there. And then we've got our flip up over here, and it's magnet closed. We've got our fronts and our backs, so we've got all of the pieces put on there. I have gone ahead and done these, covered these, but remember they're the same as I did here. I've just put my mats on. Alright, so there are all of our pages in our little mini album, and I'll go back through and show you. There's the pocket that we put on, and I showed you how to do that. And these measurements will be over on my blog, so don't worry about it. This one I put a little flip out this way pocket. It has a magnet, so it closes like that. There's that one. Okay, and then here's the center one, and it has a little pocket right here that like I showed you to make. And then here's this side of that side. This one has a little flip out. And then here's another pocket, just like we showed. It's got the little cutout up here where you can put a tag or something down in there. And then the back has another little flip down, just like that. Okay. Alright, so that is all the pages on your mini album. Now I have gone ahead and I cut, this tag came out of the paper collection, and I just cut it out and inked around it. So I'm going to slide that right down in there, and you can put some little ribbon on these tags. I probably will in a little while. This one is just one that I cut. I used my template that I showed, and I just cut this tag. And I'll put it down in there, right to where it'll be able to show a little bit. And then I'll probably just put a couple more in each one of these. Have one for the front and one for the back side. Now we have our little tags in there, and I'll put some ribbon on those. And now we're ready to put it on the inside of our mini. Now, as you can see, when you lay this down, your spine, you've got, let's see what the spine is. We'll measure it. This is 2 inch, and this spine is 2 3/4. Now for this one, when we put it down, we're going to kind of eyeball it and see if we get it to the center, because I don't want to put lines on that. Afraid if I don't get them exactly right, then my lines will show. So all I'm going to do is peel that score tape off, and I'm going to fill this with art glitter glue so that I'll have a little bit of wiggle room. Now this one you've got to center both ways. So you're not only going to center it this way, but you're going to center it this way too. Now I'm going to make sure that I've got the right sides up. And I am going to sit it down here first, centering it this way, really lightly. Then I'm going to turn it around and look and see if I need to move it over, which I do. I think right there is going to be the center. Let me look at it when I close it. Yep, that looks good. So let's press that down. And there is our mini album. Is that not cute? I love that. Now, each time that you open and close it, of course, it's going to get a little bit more limber, so it won't pop open like that. So now we're just going to put a few embellishments on the outside, and I have got this piece. It was just in my stash, and I went over it with just a little bit of teal, and I think I'm going to glue that down right there to just make it look like that's going to be the opening. And then I have some of the bling that came in our kit for last month, for this month, August. I'm going to put it right down through there to just kind of separate those two places. Let's see. And I'm going to put that down with some score tape. I like using my score tape on the bling when it's flat like this, because I can kind of move it around. And when you put it down with hot glue, it's kind of there to stay. And two, you can't see that that score tape through that bling. Sometimes you can see the hot glue sticking up there. And I'm just going to trim that off with my Tim Holtz scissors. So we got that. I cut this out of the paper collection, Good Friends, Happy Times. And I just backed it with some pink and then some of that teal color that's in here. And I'm just going to put that down right there. And I think I will put it up on some pop dots. Okay, and that still gives me room to slide that right up under there. This I am going to put down some hot glue. Then we need a piece of bling right there in the center of that. I'm just going to use one of those little iridescent white pieces of bling there. Then I have some other just things out of my stash. These are just flowers and things out of my stash. And I'm going to put these up here. It's going to go that way. That one. That one. And then I have just some little leaves that I'll tuck in here and there. And then I have this little piece, and I had colored this a while ago. It's just like a little charm. And I want to stick that right up in under there, I think. Right there, like that. Alright, let me look. Oh, I like that. I like that. So that is all I'm going to do on the front. Oh, I did put a couple of pieces of the huge bling that I have here and here. It just makes that spine look a little bit better because it's such a wide spine there. So that is our little mini album. I think I love that. Absolutely. I'm going to be putting photos in this one very, very shortly. I'm in love with it. Those are my colors right there. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to click that little bell so that you'll be notified when we put up new videos. And don't forget about our classes on Made It Con. The link to those classes will be below. There's only a few spots left, I think, as of now. That won't be till April 2020, but if you want to get in on the classes, go ahead and purchase yours now because they are going fast and they will be sold out very, very soon, I'm afraid. We look forward to seeing you in Alabama in April 2020. All right, guys, we will talk to you later. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.